Okay, here we go. We're slicing through the jungle of background screening data. We've tackled counties, statewide, federal, sex offender registries, and now it's time for the big one, national criminal databases. These tools get hyped as the holy grail of screening. But let me tell you, they're powerful yet wildly misunderstood. Now, buckle up for a longer ride because we're diving deep to make you the expert who knows the truth about these databases. First off, what are national criminal databases? They're massive collections of criminal records from commercial companies pulling data from counties, states, sex offender registries, and the Department of Corrections. Sounds like a one-stop shop, right? They've got it all in one place. Here's the reality. They're not comprehensive. And updates, they range from biweekly to annually, so you might get outdated or expunged records. And identifiers like birth dates, often missing, leading to misidentifications. So these databases are incredible tools, but they are not the magic pill that salespeople claim they are. As a former chief operating officer of one of the largest data providers in the country, I've built these beasts, and they are sophisticated, but they're only part of a smart screening strategy. So let's rewind a minute to Module 3 back in Lesson 5. Remember that federal crimes list, the drug trafficking, wire fraud, terrorism, money laundering, serious stuff, right? Quick test. Are those in a national criminal database? No, wrong. Federal data from PACER isn't scraped, isn't purchased, isn't put in these databases. If you think a national search gets you federal records, you're not alone. Almost every time I talk about this and ask people if they think that, they think that these records are in these databases, but they're misinformed. I've had clients swear we get a federal national search. We get everything. Nope. Federal and national are not the same thing. National databases are commercial, pulling public data from counties and states and not federal courts, though. This mix-up is why so many screens miss critical risk. Now let's talk about the hype. I recently overheard a salesperson from another company going on and on and on about their database. Our database is the biggest. It's the most sophisticated. Our CEO has special access to get data nobody else gets. That's pure baloney. There are only a handful of credible, large-scale criminal databases in the United States that are built for the screening industry. Now, how? By buying data directly from counties or states or scraping public websites, county courts, sex offender registries, DOC records. To build these, it's high-tech wizardry, IP addresses that are rotating, headless browsers, capture-breaking ops. It's serious business, and I could spill some secrets, but let's just say it's expensive and complex. My company ran one of the largest databases, and it was awesome at aggregating data, but it wasn't a standalone solution. And here's a darker story. When a national database, when they first hit the scene, some big-name firms saw dollar signs, and they targeted vulnerable sectors, schools, nonprofits, ministries, youth leagues, and sold them cheap, high-margin database searches. They'd say, oh yeah, our national database is updated daily, covers everything, keeps kids safe. Fear-based selling, overpromising coverage. The problem is those searches miss tons of records, especially from manual counties we've learned about. We worked with a nonprofit once whose national screen cleared a volunteer. Turns out he had a theft conviction in a manual county, not in the database. Cost him $100,000 in damages. That's what happens when you buy the hype instead of building a real screen. Speaking of manual counties, let's talk about that for a second. Remember, about 49% of the counties are manual in some way. They rely on manual searches to get the court information out of them, like we've covered in Lesson 2. The data rarely makes it into a national database in real time, if at all. Imagine, you're in a county, you are in a county right now with no electronic records, and a salesperson says, oh, our screen includes a national database plus county verifications. Sounds great, but if your area's data isn't in the database, you're getting a fast, high-profit product that's mostly useless. You'll hardly see hits, and you're paying for smoke and mirrors. I had a client in a rural area like this. They kept wondering why their national screen never flagged anyone. It was a shiny, overpriced dud. So, why are these databases still awesome? Because they're proactive. The government says, like the FBI, literally waits for the states and counties to send them data. And it's a mess. Commercial databases go get it, scraping and buying to build tools that keep people safe. They're great for layering into your screen to find records in counties you didn't know to check, like that old arrest from a spring break gone wild. But here's the rule: never report a record straight from a database. Use it to spot the jurisdictions, then verify with the county data we talked about earlier or state data if you're doing it. That's how the pros do it. And that's how you avoid misidentifications or outdated data from the database. So here's the big picture, heroes. National criminal databases are powerful, but they're oversold. Don't fall for daily updates when they tell you that without asking, what does that really mean? Daily scraping doesn't equal comprehensive coverage. A source might cycle every 6 months, grabbing mostly redundant records. Smart buyers dig deeper. Ask your screening company, hey, what's the database coverage in my key areas that I screen in? And I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm telling you, use databases to guide your county and state searches, not replace them. That's how you catch the risks others miss. Now that's Module 3, Lesson 7, and that's a masterclass in national criminal databases. Next, we're going to switch gears to other screening processes you need to know. Stick with me now. You're building screens that change the game.